of course, it wouldn't be the Swing Makeover series if we didn't actually have athletes that we're working with. So in this episode, we're going to go back and check some of the midterm grades with athletes like Dave North that we work with.
Hit it!
Look at that.
Dave, I'm going to tell you though, you'll be happy when you see that swing.
You know, you said you reached your prime for hitting a little bit later in life, you know, in your late 50s and early 60s. And what was the one thing you felt in those days when you went to hit?
I can remember I used to go out after the ball, and I was aggressive at the end. Tried to hit it as hard as I could. Yes, I was a lot bigger and stronger in those days. And not so fat.
If you do the detective work, Dave, you say you used to go out and get the ball and you're aggressive at the end. I mean, think about that once. It's just what we're preaching here now. Stronger step.
I took a long stride.
Yep, stronger step makes you go out and get it. And then aggressive at the end is that second level bat speed where you extend the top arm to get that bat snap. So you've done your own detective work, I know you're a CSI fan, so you've done your own detective work, and we're going to keep working away on that.
I was until Marg Hellinger retired from the show.
All right, let's get you over here. I'm going to have you take a few swings with the pipe. One of the few tools we're going to use in the Swing Makeover series that's really cheap is 1.5" PVC grade 40 pipe, 5 feet long, and there's some more drag and resistance on it. When you take your normal swings, you can swing hard and you can hear whooshing if you're getting a good bat speed at the end of this pipe. But also it gives you a feeling of drag and resistance. In order to swing this smoothly at all, you have to swing it correctly. That's why it gives you great feedback, and it's a great tool. We use it for the bat on the hip drill, where we just wind and we drive. We go ahead and we use it for just regular swings where we try to get a good strong stride and go ahead and swing. And I wouldn't advocate hitting anything but wiffle balls off the tee with it. What's the ball? What's the ball?
Watch the ball. Slide.
Okay, you aren't taking nearly a long enough step. That's been your whole problem this whole trip. So I'm going to go back here. Even on doing this, Dave, give me that pipe once. Take yourself, just stay right there. Mark your feet. Mark your one step. Now let's get yourself out to here, okay?
Okay.
And anyhow, check your progress each time, just like we did in this first Swing Makeover, and make sure you look at your foot each time. You got to take a longer stride. That's the one thing you aren't doing. You aren't taking a strong enough stride to help your hips release.
Okay. Take a line, slow, and press. I was out there then.
Good, good.
Line, ball, boom.
All right. Look at your stride. Your stride is only half of what it should have been.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Mark it again so we can see.
I got it marked.
Let me mark it so the camera can see.
Oh, okay.
Again here, Dave, your bat on the hip was great, but the stride was only half of what you should be. So I'm going to have to give you a D on that one. It's almost a failing grade.
Failing grade. Ball.
Better, better. Check your feet each time.
Yeah, I was way out there on that.
In your stance with your assistant bear there. Open your feet. You're getting your normal stance you had before.
Okay.
See, you're closed. Now go ahead and take a normal step that way. That's the way you're stepping. See how closed your stance is?
It's hard to get the hips open.
Hard to get the hips open. So like, you see Helmer and some guys, they start with an open stance.
Right.
Move your front foot back. Go heel to toe. There you go.
And that's called a
open stance.
open stance.
And what it'll do is already your hips are part way
Now,
open.
where do I want to end up at?
Well, you should step straight ahead.
Like there.
Yep. And then you see the idea is that your hips will open a lot more easily.
Okay.
You know, let your hips work for you, because that, like we talked about, that is, you know, where that power and that quick hands come from is that hip. So let that hip lead you. And the best thing, you know, for me, I like to be a little bit open. I like to be able to, two eyes on that pitcher. I'm opened up, so I've already got this hip going. I've got this back leg locked in. I'm right here. Now I've gone, snap forward, and I've already just done it. My hips have just started to commit. Here's the turn. Hands now are here, and then comes that hard push, and then the follow through would just be up, a little drag, and you're off to the races, man.
I used to be open. That's another thing. I was always open stance. When I was hitting home runs, I was real open.
Yep.
It's just been recently I closed it.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Nice.
Look how much better your hips are.
Nice.
I ended up over here.
Yep, good stuff, good stride. Look at that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Geez, you're getting a lot better hip rotation. Slide this foot back. You got an open stance, see? And you're hitting a lot better with an open stance because your hips are already partway open. We're kind of cheating. We're giving ourselves the ability to start with the hips partially open. And rather than stepping across it with a closed stance where you're fighting your hips, this is going to give you a good ability to be more fluid and swing better. You can see on these high-speed camera shots that Dave North has a much stronger stride, and he has a really good hip drive open. All these being reinforced by working on the pipe. The one big flaw you can still see in his swing is he has kind of a funny rollover. Instead of a palm-up snap and then a true rollover afterwards, he loses good contact with the ball by having a funny rollover right about the point of impact, and we're going to work on that in future episodes. But aside from that, it looks like he's made a lot of progress.
There we go.
Attaboy. Get out of here.
There's some other hitters we want to show you that benefited greatly by getting a stronger step, better weight transfer, better hip drive, and a more explosive and consistent swing. The first one is Bill Jacobs. Bill's 7 years old. He's from San Diego, California, and he came out last summer to work with Destiny, Brett, and I for 3 days. And the very first thing we noticed on Bill's swing, he was very short stepping. He didn't have much of a rotation, and he was jammed on almost every pitch.
Am I pulling back okay?
Yeah. Sometimes you don't get them back though on time, and then it kind of screws your swing up. I think if you started with them back, it'd be.
You mean just in my stance have it that way back? I want to
Straighten your lead arm out a little
Yeah.
bit. So maybe you don't have as far to go.
It's bent
Straighten
right
this
now,
up.
and then you go back.
Straighten it out so you're a little bit farther, a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Oh, this,
to the
I
side
see.
of the
So then
Straighten
all
this
you have
way.
to do is do your line.
Well, that's why I watch your son. I mean, it seems to me Brett just gets way back like this and takes a bump and just goes. It doesn't seem like he cocks the bat at all.
Yep, and that's not a bad strategy at all. He's an extremely smart, hard-working guy, and we got him again to lengthen out the stride and almost immediately had a more natural push. Now, we had him pushing more over the top of the tomahawk, and we're going to go back and work with him more on a palm-up push snap before we go into the roll, and we think he's going to get even more consistency. But he was able to hit the top or the bottom of the ball with pretty good consistency at the end, and he had a tremendous increase in overall exit speed and power. A couple of our buddies from Cape Coral have worked with us the last couple of years, Barry Bloom and Jimmy Dollar, and each one of those guys have different problems. Barry Bloom needed a longer stride. He would just lift up his foot, put it down. Good, Barry. Stronger step that time. That's a shot.
So I did it. I could feel myself lifting and dropping. I'm going to slide it.
Hey, look at that. I'll tell you what. Stand there again. You know, that's impressive. You totally eliminated this lift up and down. You know, that's smart. That's a good move. You step from about here to here, but your first movement was just straight ahead. Could you feel that?
Yeah.
And the more aggressive you are on the stride, the more you can drive ahead, okay? You know, for you to load up on the rear leg, I don't think it's as important because you keep it back anyway. You tend to be jammed, but that was nice. Beautiful. Can you tell the difference?
Oh, as soon as I swung,
Yeah.
I felt the difference. And I still felt I was early, and I hit it good.
We got him to go ahead and lengthen out his stride, and he actually had a pretty good looking push snap into it. The two things you're working on, buddy?
Stride and push.
Nice.
Oh!
Hey, what about that time, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as I hit it, I knew I had the arms extended. I felt that push and that. I hit that good.
Almost every pro you talk to swings hard on every pitch. They don't want to be caught with a half swing popping a ball up. They work on the consistency and the timing and the tempo of their swing so they can hit the top or the bottom of the ball for the desired effect.
Play mainly E. I played a little bit of D ball, but mainly this past year I've just been playing E, just teams I can get on, and just either hitting a home run or hitting base hits. Do the same swing speed and everything and power, but just change where you hit the level, on what level of the ball with. And hit base hits, you obviously don't want to hit the bottom of the ball, so just hit it a little bit more solid or right on top. Try to get the ball down. Just focusing, taking BP. Put in the work and you get the results. With good rotational mechanics, you can hit the top or the bottom of the ball 90% of the time.
And of course, we're trying to keep this as simple as possible. That's why I think this pipe, if you can over and over and over, Dave, use this pipe, bat on the hip, and then a push snap with it extending that top arm, you're going to get a feeling without having to take a lot of practice of doing it correctly. The pipe does give you good feedback, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's a lot of resistance, and it puts more of a focus on that. You have to use the hips, and you have to drive with it to get the thing to move through the zone.
We're very proud and happy to be affiliated with DeMarini. I switched to the DeMarini CD1 because of the durability and performance. The thing I really liked about this bat was that if you can compress the barrel, it doesn't matter if you're big or small, if you can compress the barrel, you're rewarded with the highest level of performance that I've seen out of a senior bat.
Hey, this is a great new product we've just started using here at the Woodlawn Hitting Club. It's the Evil BP ball. It's a 44-375, and it flies, and it is now the official ball of the Woodlawn Hitting Club down here in sunny St. Pete, Florida.
Hey, what do you think? Stronger stride for you makes a hell of a difference.
I think just the shorter my step is, I seem to be chasing the ball more. I'm trying
with your upper body.
I'm way out here with it. If I stride, it's causing me to get a little more lift on it and more snap, I think.
You're